Hi everyone from Japan. This is Angeline Akain. I publish Gay Parent Magazine. I can't see it. It's online. It's just digital now. It used to be on paper, but it's just digital now. You can find it at, online and on Facebook. And this is my partner, Susan Eisenberg. And Susan and I, we met at the end of 1988 in New York City. And we had a wedding ceremony in 1991. It wasn't legally recognized. Here's a picture. Can you see it, Susan?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. And then, shortly after our wedding ceremony, we decided to move to Hawaii, which is where I'm originally from. And then we adopted, while we were in Hawaii, we decided to adopt Gianna, which we did in 1997. And Gianna was 16 months old when we adopted her. And here's a picture of her.
Oops, shortly after the adoption.
Yeah, we brought her home from Hawaii. And Gianna addresses us by Mommy Susan and Mommy Angie, and sometimes by just our first names. And we started this
and
from
Mommy,
the beginning.
just Mommy,
and just Mommy. And then we lived there until 1998 in Hawaii, and then in 1998 we decided to move back to New York City, and that's when I started Gay Parent Magazine in 1998.
So I would say that when we first met, we were not planning on having a child. I know it wasn't on my mind. We didn't talk about it, and it really wasn't happening around us. And that obviously did change. And I was the first one who really wanted to have a child, and we looked, but Angie was in agreement, and we looked for an adoption agency that would work with us. Not all adoption agencies would. And adopted our daughter from China at 16 months of age. And I would say that, in general, our journey as gay parents has been relatively easy. Parenting was not always easy. There were a lot of challenges, but they were not because we were gay. Of course, I think a lot of that is due to where we live. We are in New York City. Our families accepted us, our friends, the schools that Gianna attended, the communities we were in were very accepting. So our experience as gay parents has been very positive.
And I also want to add that Susan adopted Gianna as a single parent, and I later adopted Gianna, had to do another adoption, a second parent adoption. So, and she's now 25, Gianna, and this is how she looks as an adult.
And that's a few years ago.
So moving on to, is same-sex marriage equal to heterosexual marriages in the U.S.? And same-sex marriage was legalized in the country in 2015. And technically, yes, same-sex marriage is equal to heterosexual marriage across the country, but in more conservative areas, same-sex couples, they may not be recognized as readily as legal parents of a child, meaning if a couple splits up, the non-biological or non-adoptive parent may not be recognized as a legal parent. And there's also, I think I read some instances where both same-sex parents would not be put on the birth certificate. So, yeah, there's some areas where it may not be totally accepted, even though legally we are.
It should be.
Should be. So, and then the next question, are there many LGBTQ families around us? In our immediate neighborhood in Queens, New York, no. I mean, we live outside of Manhattan, but there are probably more so in Manhattan, and there are pockets of neighborhoods across the country where a lot of LGBTQ headed families live, like Maplewood, New Jersey, or Northampton, Massachusetts, or Park Slope, Brooklyn, New York.
Which is New York City.
Yeah, and I'm sure parts of California or San Francisco. And you want to talk about Gianna?
Well, I just want to say I think in most metropolitan areas in the United States, there are communities where there are larger numbers of gay families. So more in the metropolitan areas.
Right.
And
when Gianna was little, we did attend a support group for LGBTQ parents.
Right. So we always did have families around us, gay families. And we paid particular attention to that when she was young so that she would have other friends who had gay parents and it would be something that she was used to seeing.
Yes, LGBTQ families, they can have children in the U.S. and they have been having them for decades now. And the number of LGBTQ plus people raising children is growing, and there's between 2 million and 3.7 million children under the age of 18 with a LGBTQ parent. And the methods that the community are using to have children is assisted reproductive technology, where couples and individuals conceive a biological child using a sperm donor, egg donor, or surrogate. Paying a professional doctor or lawyer to facilitate the process. Some cis women do it at home, do home insemination with sperm donated by someone they know, or they purchase sperm. And the other option is to adopt a child privately or through the public system. Some people elect to be a foster parent to a child while they're awaiting a permanent home. And many LGBTQ plus people become foster parents, then they adopt a child they're fostering. So before same-sex marriage was legalized, one of the challenges was there were more custody issues between same-sex parents that separated. The biological or the adopted, legally adopted parent would fight for custody and be awarded custody because they were biologically related to the child and the non-biological or non-adoptive parent would lose custody. So that was one of the challenges. And there were also certain legal rights that heterosexual people had in terms of certain medical visits.
So basically, if there was a severe illness or a situation where only family members could visit a patient in the hospital, a partner, if they were not married, could be denied visitation. And all the other legal benefits that heterosexual couples received, gay couples did not have, but they now do have if they are legally married.
Yeah, there are other legal benefits such as inheritance and tax benefits, even though we pay taxes. And we also lacked, before gay marriage, social recognition. There's a lot more now. You can see it on media. There's, more same-sex couples on commercials and television shows, and getting involved in politics, just becoming more recognized in community, the fabric of community. And what people in Japan can do is educate others to let them know that LGBTQ plus people are a natural occurrence in the world, and that we have always been here, and we contribute to society, and we also make fine parents.
I think the more that people talk, whether or not you're out, but the more you talk about gay people in a positive way, the more people realize that they know other gay people, that we've always been here, we always will be here, whether or not there are repressive laws, has not changed the fact that we've always been here. And the more people who know someone who's gay, the more people have a hard time actually denying basic human rights. And I think that's part of what's happened in this country, is that there has been a greater awareness. Even many conservative politicians realize they have family members who are gay, friends who are gay. It becomes harder and harder to keep us down. So just open expression about who we are, whether it's of oneself or just others.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's good that you're organizing this camp and coming together to talk about it and share ideas. And I think you just have to keep on talking about it and supporting anyone who supports the LGBT community, be it politicians and public figures and educators, and just keep on. It'll get better. I mean, in this country, we've come a long way since, Susan and I, we started our family. It's really, when I started Gay Parent Magazine, there were hardly any resources for gay parents or LGBTQ parents. And now there's, hundreds or thousands, of websites and resources. So it's gotten better, and it's probably going to continue to get better.
Yes, and we thank you very much for the opportunity to share our experience, and we wish everyone the best. And we'd like to close with...
This is a little Mother's Day gift that Gianna made for us. So one day you folks will be able to...
Hold up the same picture.
Yes. Okay, so...
Wish we could have seen you all in person.
Yes.
And wishing you a great gathering.
Thank you very much.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.